Self-hate, man, is to destroy somebody that when you look in the mirror, the same skin color as you. To go out here and I'm not into no game, but because one got red, one got blue, but he look exactly like you, and you want to destroy him, exterminate him by all means necessary, like to terminate. Self-hate, again, is like a woman is in a relationship and the man beat this woman toothless. And then she still go back to him and he says, I love you. And she forgives him. And the delusion is in her mind, she believed that is love. Because that same man, if he had a Bentley and he loved his Bentley, ain't gonna go out there with no golf clubs and a bat and beat that Bentley and destroy it. Or take $100,000 and put gasoline on it and burn it because he loves that. When you love something, you don't destroy it or hurt it. You take care of it and you nurture it.
Good day, people. We are back. This is the Get Established Show. This morning's episode is The Love We Hate, or is the essence of love dying and hate growing rapid in the world? And more importantly, because of this show, in the black community. So today we're going to get it started. We're going to have a great roundtable. We hope you all enjoy it. Welcome to the Get Established Show. Raymond?
Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is the Get Established Show where we talk about building in the community and a community awareness within and surrounding our area. All right, I'm here with my fellow brothers in arms. We got my man, D. Jones.
Great day, everyone.
All right, and my man chilling on the side is Chilla.
Grand Risings.
And of course, the man on the board, B.I.
To the double G, baby. Good morning and welcome, folks.
All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and get into this topic. Let's go.
Ooh, wait, the love we hate. Do y'all hear me? The love we hate. The love we hate is the essence of love dying and hate growing rapid in the world and the black community. This show is jam-packed. I can't wait to jump in. So with no further ado, I'm turning it over to my brother Chilla.
The love we hate. This is a great topic because today we like in a time where you see nothing but anger, frustration, and hate going on. So I came up with some good questions for this, and we just gonna go into this right now. The first question is, let's be honest with ourselves. How often in today's society do you see the essence of love?
Man.
What kind of love?
Go ahead, Big.
What kind of love?
What I'm saying is, man, you know, you see so many people hating on each other or doing things or hurting each other. You don't see nobody having any sympathy for each other. People trolling each other, all different type crazy stuff going on. I mean, even on social media, people talk about people like a dog. If you just put your opinion out there, everybody jump on you, want to throw stones, and all this type energy is like negative. You never see any positive energy coming out anymore. Nobody picking you up. Nobody like a crowd of people, you know, like just showing you love. You know, everywhere I go, man, it's just that energy out here of negativity and hate. You know, even when you drive, you see road rage. I mean, when you go out there to just turn on TV and on every TV show, women up there fussing like, you know, House Atlanta, this and that, or basketball wives, so much negative energy that we look at. We never see a lot of good loving energy. I'm just, man, just go in.
Go ahead, D.
Well, I mean, I agree. It's just not the same. You can't even go out and see black love being expressed in public. It's crazy. Men are walking in front of women walking behind, the way they communicate, women saying, that's my bitch, or that, you know, men talking about that's my hoe. You wanna represent a little better, especially for the youth. You don't want the youth seeing this negativity because they pick up and run with whatever they see. And you're right. That's all we see on television, on video games, on social media is negativity. And we need to get back to the love. if you think about it, back in the day when we were growing up, that's what we saw. We saw families spending time together. You can't even, in most households now, what I'm saying is, or what I'm hearing, are kids don't even sit down with their parents to eat dinner, have conversations. So we need to get back to that. I totally agree. Where is the love?
Mm.
Yeah, I agree and disagree. I think there is some movement of love, but I think it's being overshadowed by the music, which society's focuses when you got the entertainment. Whatever's going on with entertainment, that kind of structures the way we live and the way we move. So even the R&B songs today, it's just like it's so aggressive. Like R&B music is supposed to be love music. It's supposed to be slow down. Let's slow it down, make it nice music. But it's rough, man. I mean, I can't even think of. I mean, I'm Virginia-born C Breezy. He drops some pretty good stuff. Trey Songz, but I hear certain things about love because I hear a lot of Black people reference themselves as kings and queens, and that's showing love, that's showing reverence. But we can't all be kings and queens.
Well, this is the thing. Let's touch on the music thing, because this kind of what sparked the this whole topic. When back in, because I had older brothers and sisters, they always had, good soulful music, what I'm saying? Marvin Gaye, Smokey Robinson, the Whispers, Temptations, this, I mean, it's a road that you travel to go to, how you court that person you with, or just being in a mood where, love can be, shared amongst everybody, you know what I'm saying? When you compare to today, it's like, it's, girl, I just want to get in them draws, knock you off and go on about my way. And hey, that's love, you know what I'm saying? Oh, just, hey, that's the act of getting it in. And then, hey, y'all do whatever you want. I gotta hit these streets, you know what I'm saying, to make this money, to do what I got to do. And but it's no, no romance, no, taking the girl on a walk through the park or something like this, telling her, looking in her eyes and saying, hey, baby, you the one, and none of that, trying to be smooth and try to, seduce her in a loving manner. It's just, hey, and we out. So that's one of the reasons why the love thing is so mixed up these days, because they don't understand the essence of romance. They don't understand the essence of being in the midst of the situation, the love. They don't know how to be, because the love is just, it's only the physical expression of it through the act of, of relations.
But I'm gonna say this: in this day and time, it seems like we hate love. I mean, it's so abundant that you have to be blind or delusional to even believe that this doesn't even exist. Because when you're leaving, you can even jump in so many areas. You can go into a relationship. If you're a nice guy, and in today's society, and you do everything for a girl, treat her like a queen, this and that, she most likely gonna want somebody who's gonna dog her, talk about her, screw her friends, bring about diseases, and this thug life type dude. That's that energy that everybody like. I mean, and the funny thing, me and Raymond were having a conversation. We kind of spot this whole thing, and I was saying music at one time used to calm down the savage beasts. Now the music make a mega beast. I mean, everybody want to be savages and animals, and it's crazy, because this is the vibration that we are pushing out into society. We looking at black on black crime. These young boys don't have no morals or sympathy for other cats. I mean, and they killing each other over nonsense, man, just out here gunning. I mean, they got this hate, kill, man, Thailand, the kill, steal, and destroy. This is the hate I'm talking about. The hate, you putting out here, the love. You hate the essence of love. There's a lot of people hate love. The way we fight, man, the way we cuss out each other, the way children disrespect their mothers or elders out here. Shut up, old man, when you say pull up your pants. I mean, it's so much negative energy or hate out here, man. It's ridiculous. I mean, you can, I see love. We ain't talking about somebody your mom age. We talking about our age and under, man. You know what I'm saying? We going into a reference that when I walk out these doors, man, I don't see this loving like the birds chirping and everybody, hey, brother, let me give you a hand. Hey, brother, here. Man, look, here's my shirt off my back and all this type stuff. And, man, I see, man, get that right me. I see so much cussing and fussing and ready to fight, man, atmosphere. It's like hate is so powerful out here, man. I mean, the atmosphere is like the world is full of hate, man. You can look at the wars, the fighting, the murdering, the killing. This is what I'm saying. We have so much hate going on. But if you want to go to the next question, Mr. Shine, the next question is, do you feel the way we hate on each other starts with self-hate?
Collectively, yes, because a lot of outside influences sometimes perpetuate that hate that we have amongst each other. Because, if you have love of possession, material possessions, say for instance, shoes for men, you got on a nice fresh pair of Air Force Ones, Adidas or whatever have you, and somebody and they white, somebody scuff them, that's gonna start some drama right there. And then that there. The one thing that can be avoided, you're not gonna avoid, because that's a disrespect that you not gonna take. That's like bottom line of disrespect to you. So you're gonna go and fight that man your own color because you decided to mistakenly scuff somebody's shoe. You're gonna go to war because of that.
I got a real high annoyance for that crap. As men, it's certain things you're supposed to be able to do. You should be able to take care of your shoes. You cannot walk around without scratching your shoes on your own. That I don't understand the mentality of that. Are we so caught up in material love that we gonna hate somebody because they make a mistake? We all human. We on this earth, we are all human. We're gonna all make mistakes. We are all gonna impede on people's space at times and not intentionally do it. There's people that's been murdered because they scuffed somebody's shoes. I mean, what is that? So much love for your shoes that you got hate for, man, because you don't know how to clean your shoes? And nowadays, everybody want their shoes to always look brand new. They want to walk through the earth with all these people and not have any impedes whatsoever. It's impossible. Just like Chris, before the show, we were talking about road rage. The same thing. Everybody that cuts you off doesn't mean to do it. There's people driving that aren't as good of a driver as you. But you got to understand that, because I got to check myself sometimes. And I talk to a buddy of mine named, because we drive a lot. And a lot of times people they may cut you off, and then you get up to them and it's an old person and your whole attitude change. If you got love in your heart, when you get up after you done had a fit because somebody cut you off and they slowing you down, they in your way, and then when you get up and you look in the car, it's a lady about 96 years old. And you feel bad about that. You know what I'm saying? So we got to check ourselves. If we can turn our heart around from realizing it's a person, it's an elderly person, we can do the same thing by giving somebody some grace when they make a mistake, just like we will. Because we're going to do the same thing at some point.
Well, I'll say this. It's hard not to have self-hate going on today because look at everything we're being fed, what our soul is being fed with. If you look at like if just turning on the TV, just simple things like turning on the TV, it's always somebody black faced against somebody else black and something negative is going on. And it's minute. The things that they're arguing about are minute.
Real Housewives of Atlanta.
It's being promoted. Well, you know, I'm in Atlanta. You ain't have to just throw Atlanta under the bus. I mean, we got Love and Hip Hop New York. We got Basketball Wives of LA. It's a lot of different shows out there that's promoting
just giving examples
in the black community. And if your soul is being fed that all the time, and then you go back to work, girl, did you see Love and Hip Hop Atlanta last night, or Basketball Wives, or you see this and that, or even the kids playing GTA, Grand Theft Auto. You got your music and some of the music that's been promoted. If you're being fed this all the time, then what do you expect? Kids have their earbuds in their ears all the time, listening to something on YouTube, trying to figure out how to play this video game that promotes killing, or you listening to music in the car, you riding up the street. Not only can they hear their music, we can hear their music, and it's bitch, hold this, nigga that, and all this, seriously. And I know we used to play our music loud, I get it. But if you think about how the music has changed, like me and Big, we were big Tribe Called Quest fans. That was our group back in the day. And I just don't remember Tribe putting out that type of music, you know? And I'm not saying that when gangster rap hit, I didn't like NWA, because I did. But at the same time, we had moments where we talked about things as friends, where we spent time with our family and we had discussions, where we looked at movies like Do the Right Thing and then promoted at the end of the movie self-love, where we had these things.
It was better balance.
Exactly. Where now, it seems like everything that's being promoted is self-hate. And it's unfortunate. Go ahead, Raymond.
Now I'm gonna say it's like I said before at one time, it's always the need to be worse than the last generation that came before you, you know, to be worse than what they did, to try to be harder, try to be, you know, more thorough, who got the best stuff, who can climb higher than the last generation. And that's what this generation is doing, even though it's in our eyes, it's a regression, because they don't look at the moral values that we had and we held true in our generation. The values are gone because of the fact that, hey, you have to be that much more thorough than the last generation. You got to be that much more lit than the last generation.
I think it goes back to this. It still always goes back to the parents for me, because my daughter, her and her girlfriends, they be playing GTA, you know, but to them it's a joke. They're not letting this fuel them up to go out in the street and do some crazy stuff. Because I've sat there and watched them play, and they're laughing the entire time, you know, while they're playing this. But I think that comes from understanding that this is not an example or a guidebook on how I'm supposed to live life. This is an example of me defragging and just having some fun with my friend. Because this is some stuff, this is a fake world. This is a world that I don't live in. This is a fake world where we can go out and do the most outlandish things and laugh about it and come back to a normal life. And what happens in a lot of households, you don't have the balance because you don't have a parental. A lot of parents don't know what their kids doing, don't know what they playing. They don't even sit in there and try to have a conversation with them. And it comes back to love is demonstrated from the top down. So, you know, from how I see it, you know, God pushes out the love. You got some people that receive it and take it into their house and put it into their family. You got some people that's disconnected from that.
I'm going to say this. Self-hate. Self-hate, man, is to destroy somebody that when you look in the mirror, the same skin color as you. To go out here, and I'm not into no game, but because one got red, one got blue, but he look exactly like you, and you want to destroy him, exterminate him by all means necessary, like the Terminator. Self-hate, again, is like a woman is in a relationship, and the man beat this woman toothless, and then she still go back to him, and he says, I love you, and she forgives him. And the delusion is, in her mind, she believed that is love. Because that same man, if he had a Bentley and he loved his Bentley, ain't gonna go out there with no golf clubs and a bat and beat that Bentley and destroy it, or take $100,000 and put gasoline on it and burn it, because he loves that. When you love something, you don't destroy it or hurt it. You take care of it and you nurture it. That's why I say the essence of love is gone. Because when you see people out here fighting, man, ain't no love out there. That's pure breed hate. It's like they was born to hate. Not born to love. They was born in this world to be hating, man. When we, man, you hating. Man, all us got an essence of hate, man. I got road rage. And then it's people cut in front of me. And I'm like, God dang, cussing me out, throwing fingers at me like I did something wrong. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, you looking at this world, man, it's a lot of energy that's real negative out here, man. And the reason we want to have this conversation, man, is for some people, man, can look at life maybe in a different perspective. Even these young cats, man, when you destroy somebody like, look exactly like you, to me, that's a mental illness, man, a mental illness. Do you understand that? It's like watching two pigeons and a group of pigeons out there just stabbing each other, fighting, or watching a bunch of cats just out here taking pipes and whatever they can grab and gnaw at each other. That's, man, you be like, man, these cats crazy. So when we in this United States and other nationalities or people look at us, they be looking at us like crazy. Because you don't destroy somebody who looks like you unless you got a mental illness. And this is part when your heart, what's in your heart manifests in your mind, man. This is a sickness. We have a big problem and people come back to losing love. No, it ain't no love out here. Grandmama love gone, man. These mamas ain't even loving their children right, man. You can't talk about your child like a dog, or you ain't janky, you just like your daddy and all this, because that's the same energy you giving to that child. Or you talk about your baby daddy in front of your child, that puts a little hate in his heart.
Over
You
time.
can't do this. I'm gonna tell you some real talk, man.
Okay.
My dad, and I shared this with Raymond, the whole time we growed up, and even though my mom and dad wasn't together, I swear I never in my life heard one negativity thing my dad said about my mom the whole time. He never shared one. And I think, Derek, have you ever heard him say, be honest, we being real out here, have you ever heard dad say anything negative about mom?
I mean, no, I haven't, but vice versa. Our mom, she never said anything negative about.
I mean, but
dad.
still, but like I'm saying, me being with dad all the time growing up, I wasn't with mom like that. Being like from a dad had us every weekend, and me being in dad's midst. And it's like I would see so many people talk, man, that crazy be, with the child with the daddy, or man, they talk that energy, and that's a bad vibe when your child got to hear, both of their parents downing each other. What you think that's pregnant into that child, that energy, man?
Well, I mean, and it starts with the parents, like Big said earlier. Your kids are like sponges; they're taking in everything. So how you communicate with them is how they learn how to communicate. So if every time they do something wrong and you're using profanity towards them, they're saying, "Oh, so that's how you're supposed to talk when you get upset," or even yelling. I don't yell at my kids. So when I get upset, I walk away and then I talk to them later because I don't want them yelling at me. And so many times I hear parents say, "Oh, you raise your voice." Well, first of all, who do you think they learned that from? Like, seriously. So you're teaching them when they get upset, they're supposed to yell. And then when it comes back to you, you're looking like, who you talking to? Why you talking to me like that? Where you get that from? Well, I got it from you. That's where I got it from. So you have to realize when these kids are growing up 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years old, the way you communicate with them is the way they're learning how to communicate. And that's very important. So if you're teaching them a negative way to communicate, it's going to come right back to you.
Let me add this. One thing I believe that is one of the most powerful things that demonstrate love in life in existence. And I know right now you can't do a whole lot of this with strangers or with people that are not in your household because of the pandemic that we're in right now. But I believe a hug is one of the most powerful things that you can give somebody, even more than a romantic kiss. If you hug somebody and it's something about the vibrations of your body being close together, that right there can bring tears of joy to somebody's house, because somebody's life, because you can feel if the emotion and if the love is true, you can feel that. And I just say, look, right now we in a tough time, we, sheltering in place, and it's just a lot going on. But the people in your house, don't be at war with them, be in love with them. If you feel an argument brewing on and it's like you think about it as something stupid, go in your separate corners, come back and just hug the person. Y'all can talk about it. I mean, I just believe it's to me, my experiences with a hug, it's just been one of the most powerful things on the planet that promotes positivity.
But check this. Suppose that parents don't even know how to show love. They dysfunctional.
That's why I'm telling everybody.
They don't tell you they love you. So how did that child grow up in the midst? And when you saying they need a hug, they might feel like they need a hug, but their mom and dad don't even say I love you or hug you.
That's why I'm asking parents, and I'm asking kids, and I'm asking grandparents, and I'm asking aunts and uncles anyone that live in your house at this moment, because we can't be hugging people outside of it right now because of the pandemic. But the people that you are with, show that love. That is a powerful, powerful thing. And you don't have to say words when you give a hug. If the intention is right, people can feel that. And it's real. And it can change the course of a day. It can change the course of a mind. It can make people receptive to what you got to say. Just make sure what you got to say is from the heart and that it's good, it's pure, because right now, like you said, we are being fed a lot of garbage. But I'm a movie buff, and I was just sitting here thinking about how many movies last year that I saw that demonstrated love. And the only one, there's maybe two that I can think of right off the top of my head. One was Crazy Rich Asians, and the other was The Photograph. That's the only two I can think of out of the whole entire year of movies, and I watch movies all year. I mean, can y'all think of something? A song?
I ain't even watching neither one of them, so I don't get.
Yeah. The photograph was a good example of love. It's weird that you bring that up, because we were just talking about we needed more Black movies that represented love.
Okay. Right.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, that is I think that's a great way that can give young girls, young boys some sense of emotional connection to one another, on a deeper level, other than just, okay, well, you there and I'm here, and hey, I'm a girl, you a boy, and okay, well, we know this. So how about exploring the communication between each other and how to deal with one another as just, as human beings, because that's what I feel like there's areas of that needs to be helped, instead of expressing how great you are as a individual gender, because I mean, hey, there's greatness in women, there's greatness in men, but how about exploring the greatness that one another have, and coming together and doing something greater together than just separately.
And I agree with that, Raymond. One thing about people that are in constant communication with me every day, I celebrate everybody that I know. I greet people and I say, "What's up?" And one of the things that come out of my mouth, "You the man." And they be like, "Nah, I ain't the man, you the man." And that starts a positive conversation. And even with the women, I be like, "Man, you got it going on. Look at this." I find something positive to say, and they be like, you always trying to gas me up and this and that. But I always try to celebrate everybody I come in contact with because I want that energy back. So I start the conversation off with something positive, and it always comes back to me. It doesn't matter if it's a young person or an older person, it always comes back to me. Yeah. So I try to make sure I set the tone when I start conversations off with people.
You said something good there, man, because the things we speak into people's life is the same thing we want back. And we got to learn not to say a lot of negative things, man, because some people give you a lot of negative energy, man, by saying a little negative thing. And I tell people always saying, like, even when you greet a woman, what's up, queen? Or, you know what I'm saying, what's up, king? You know, anything with black, you know, just try to build people up. Instead of calling them nigga, stupid or something, man, or you knucklehead or all these crazy stuff, we need to start building people up. Because we need to start putting the words we speak, man, will manifest. And when we got a lot of negative stuff being said through music and everything, you can see it manifesting. It's crazy. In our era, we was young and hip hop came out, we was accepting it. But now as we look at from back then and now, because it was just jamming music, we were having a good time, wasn't a lot of shooting, wasn't a lot of fighting like that. Now it's a whole different end. The stuff that was been said back then, we see is manifesting. It's happening. And some of those dudes rapping won't living like that. But these kids is, you know, imitating what's really living what we used to say. I mean, to a stronger era. So, you know, we got to look at it like that. Look, let's get ready to move on to the next question. And it goes in what we're saying. The next question is, why is it so hard for us to show compassion to one another?
Man, I'm glad you asked that question. I was just thinking about that. For some reason, and especially in the Black community, these young males, they don't want to show emotion. And I don't understand that. Like, if you see something, it's only human to react to it. I was talking to this young cat the other day, and I was really impressed because he said he looked at the new movie American Skin. And he said he shedded a tear, and it threw me off. I was like, this man is sharing with me that he started crying during the movie. And I was just like, wow, this young dude, he's about 10 years younger than me, isn't afraid to express the way he felt about something. And we need that. We need men to connect with their emotional side. It's nothing wrong with crying. It's nothing wrong with showing vulnerability. I don't know where that came from that men cannot cry and show vulnerability. It's almost like it's a sign of weakness, and we need to get away from that.
Well, I mean, I'm a dig in a little bit to the origins of that because, you know, that comes from, you know, slavery when, you know, you didn't want to show the master that you were broken, you know, because if you show him that you're broken, that means that he can control you more so than he has physically, you know, because when you're broken mentally and physically, that means you're a man that can be pushed and turned wherever you want, wherever the person that's controlling you can manipulate you to be. Fast forward that a little bit into these times, you know, when you're a man and you're a leader, you know, it's when you charging up a hill, and I guess I'm taking this to a military sense now. If you're charging up a hill, you don't want your leader to be like, what do y'all think about going up that hill? I mean, I'm kind of scared to go up that hill, but I know we got to go up that hill, you know. So, you know, maybe if you know, take a few guys and you just kind of go around the side and just make sure that no, you have to make a decision. Either you go or you stay. Either you move or you don't. So that's why the mindset was move, and hey, everybody else will just catch on as they go. But I mean, it should be a balance, you know, when you're dealing with your spouse, girlfriend, you know, females in general, and if you're in some form and you're in that type of relationship with them, then the need to show emotion to them is necessary at certain times, you know, When you gotta move, you gotta move. When there's other issues of an emotional nature that require you to be a little more tactful in how you approach it, then the emotional side can be expressed. So it's because I mean it's hard. I mean, if you say you're too emotional, then the person with you can be like, I got a weak ass man.
Well, Raymond, we're not talking about being too emotional, and I get what you're saying. I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's that. Yeah, I'm saying just having, like Chris said, a passion for one another. It's nothing wrong with me and you as two men having a conversation and me showing you that I love you. It's nothing wrong with that. But I understand when it's time to react and lead. Yeah, that's not the time for me to be in tears talking about, oh, they coming for me. Oh, what about? No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying there is a time for me to show vulnerability. I can't be your brother and you going through something and I'm like, man up. I don't care what and your leg cut off, man up, need to get up. No, brother, that's time for me to be sensitive to the situation.
But you know what? A lot of people are mentally in war with themselves. They put this armor on them and this wall to feel like they got to be superior and hard at all the times. And it's fake, man, because inside these same people, man, they going through issues and some of them had not the lack of love. But to be compassionate to somebody who's going through something, man, physically, mentally, or whatever, and you go out there like you all nonchalant and don't care, man, that's an issue, man. I mean, you got to be sensitive to some people going through problems because all of us handle situations different, man. I might can go through it like brush it off my shoulder. Somebody else might have a mental breakdown. You never know. But the problem is we don't have compassion for one another, man. You know what I'm saying? We need like if one of y'all going through something, I'm there for y'all. But I ain't gonna tell my man, you know, that's that mental illness situation. I call it mental illness. Anything that attacks you from being loving and human, that you a robot or an animal, then you're not even human. I call it a mental illness. We talking about human traits now. You can't go around me talking about you a human and you acting like an animal. You can't come around me talking you human and you acting like a robot. A robot don't have no emotions or feelings. This is a mental illness. I mean, I might be a little hysterical or passionate what I'm saying, but I want y'all to look at it in a different light when I share it. This is a mental illness. And there's a lot of mental ill cats out here walking these streets, a lot of robots and a lot of animals, living, breathing animals, behind wheels, behind guns, working beside you, not a human, but an animal, a savage. About burying, man. This is real talk.
Yeah, I think it comes back to modeling too, because in our community, the numbers are staggering for single mother pregnancies or births, I should say, and raising the kids. It's like 80%. And I think men growing up may have an issue because they may not know. You may have a somebody growing up that's overly sensitive. You know, you can't be crying all the time like Derek. You know, they say you going up the hill, you ain't time to cry. You know, I think there's times. I mean, it's just part of the humanity when you are touched. You know, the birth of your child, marrying the love of your life, the loss of a very close loved one or friend. Those are the times and the moments where you can't care about what people watching you, man. I mean, I know when I lost my grandmother, man. My grandparents. You know, I lost it at each one of them. I couldn't, I mean, it won't like, crazy, but these are people I love, man, and they demonstrated they are a part of me. And when they died, a part of me died with them. And I can keep the memories, but even right now, man, it's like, I'm impacted just by thinking about them and how they raised me. And that's what we need back in our community. We need people touched by these other members that are outside, because we're gonna hammer this. A lot of times there's a lot of single mothers right now that need more outside support, and there's family around, but they absent. Or maybe the mom don't know how to communicate that I need you. But we have to check on one another. That's part of showing that love of our community. We have to check on one another. We had a show a few weeks ago about because we're all uncles, and by being impactful and being a part of our nieces and nephews' lives. So we have to be there. I talked to one of my oldest nephew. We had a conversation a couple weeks ago, and he was like, "Man," and this is ironic what we talking about, because Derek said something about when to cry. We were sitting around. Before the pandemic, of course, we would get together for the holidays, for like Christmas, and we were all there. I mean, it was probably, 20 of us. And we started talking about what we were thankful for in life. And, I started talking about my brother-in-law, his father. It's messing me up now. The impact that he had on my life, out of this world. I don't have any brothers. I mean, I got y'all, but blood brothers. He married my older sister. My life is different from knowing him. Yeah, see, I'm a man. I ain't got no problem crying. I don't care what anybody say. I know the example he set for me that I didn't have in my life. And I'm a better man because of it. And we all gonna be better men because of that. Because of the impact that he put in me. I've been able to put things in other people's lives. From the kids that I coach, from the men that I support, and from the women that I help. So we gotta be men. And sometimes it's all right to cry as being a man. I'm okay with it because it's truth in everything that I deliver.
You blood here, regardless, man.
Absolutely.
As long as the blood might not run the same, but it's blood either way.
No doubt, man. We've been at this for a long time, man. This didn't just start. The world is just seeing it, but we've been together for a long time, man.
That's right.
We've been talking like this for a minute. But like I said, this topic is love, and we showing everybody out here, our experience and our situation and how we think about, the essence of love. And that's all this is, man. We coming from our hearts, each one of us sharing our point of views, our emotions, and our feelings. And it's funny, like, I'm just going to side talk real. We talk about Black Wall Street, Tulsa, Oklahoma, how way back then, and somebody brought it to my attention. I think that was like about 100 years ago, because 2021, 100 years ago, these people had a city that was so everything, they was doing their thing. They had money, they had banks, they had schools, they had this, they had airports, they had busing systems, they had restaurants, and there was a bunch of Black millionaires that was doing their thing. And I could tell in that day and era that, it was a lot of, everybody on the same accord, everybody on the same energy, everybody on the same frequency of trying to build a community together. It took a whole bunch of people to put this together, this whole place to be successful the way it was. And hate destroyed it. Hate destroyed it. We're not getting into the racism but stuff, but it was hate that destroyed it. And the only thing when I heard these stories, and we keep talking about how can we get back to Black Wall Street? When you got a whole nation of people that look like me that's against each other, that's out here fighting, man, that's not on the same accord to even try to come together, to even invest their money in the Black community, to try to do the same thing, to build back the community like Black Wall Street. What did they do that was traumatizing us so hard that we cannot reconnect 100 years later to build another Black Wall Street and be successful the way we was 100 years ago?
I think a part of it is the fear of what the outcome could be, because every time that there was a thriving organization like that, Black Wall Street, from my understanding, unless this was one of the other places, was bombed for 3 days. 3 days. That is domestic terrorism at its peak, at its pinnacle. 3 days, because people wanted to be independent and have their slice of the American dream, what's been promised to everyone. But because of the racist nature of this country, they came in and stole it back again, killed a bunch of people, and the biggest part, not saying that the lives lost wasn't tremendous, but it was the dreams and the work and the thought that was killed. And things like that, they do things like that to implement fear.
And to build on that, as Black people, we have to look at incidents like that and realize that there has to be something powerful about our community for another community to not want us to thrive. We need to pay attention to that, because they're always trying to do something to deter us from moving ahead. And if you pay attention to that, then you will see the power that you possess within your own self, the power that you possess within your skin, your DNA, your melanin. It is very powerful. And other people see that, but we need you to see that.
They see it.
All right. This is a issue that we're dealing with in our community. And I mean the Black community, of course, as we're saying, is individuality. The focus on individuality, because that's how society wants you to navigate through this world. Like, okay, well, hey, you have to be a homeowner. You don't have to be homeowners as a family, as a husband, wife, or however union that you decide to have. There's no focus on having a joint home. It's the thing is, okay, well, you go and have your home, you have your home. Okay, well, hey, you're fine, live with your kids or whatever. And, there's no emphasis on being together and working together with each other to build something. Because that's why we can't build anything, because there's so much of a focus on, I want this, I gotta have this, I gotta have my house, I gotta have my car, I gotta have my business, I gotta have this. Not we, not us. It's and that's why we'll never get together until we get out of our mindset and start thinking about we. Because if you do know that the other society is gonna be like, okay, well, but they see them with them together, So just think about that as you're going about your way of trying to get what you're trying to get, because you can get what you want with someone else or with a group that's trying to build, but you just got to decide what's more important, getting your tiny bit or getting a great large amount from each other.
That's demonstrating
powerful. That is right powerful, here, Raymond. That is powerful.
Demonstrating that right here.
Raymond, you said a mouthful just then. I mean, and not to go into it and get too long-winded. You hear a lot of married couples now, just dealing with marriages, talking about, I have mine and she has hers. And my point is, you're coming together in a union. You're functioning as one, but you're operating separate. That is deep, Raymond. Boy, you got down with
that. Yeah. So we want to be an example. I mean, we 4 men that have come together. We're going to build something great here. We can't do it without y'all. We need y'all to participate in this with us to make this platform great, because it's a lot of things that we want to do, but it's for the community. We're not thinking about us. Everything we do is for the empowerment of the community. Shameless plug. There's something I do called the Sunday music message. But you know what it demonstrates? It demonstrates love, and it's also for the community, the Black community, and for the community on this earth. Because without love, we got to have love within the Black community, but we got to have love throughout this earth, because hearts are all red.
Mhm.
Every heart is all red. We got to bring them together, and we got to help one another. We are here. People, I say it over, you're going to hear me say it over and over again. We're all in this place together. I know there's some people out exploring out in outer space, but as far as I know, and as far as most of y'all know, we are here on Earth, and this is where we got to make it happen, and we have to help one another. We cannot put people in situations where they deliberately, on purpose, put them in a position where they can't even eat. We have organizations at the highest level in our country that destroy food instead of destroy good food instead of giving it to the poor and the hungry. We got to stop things like that. And we the people, we have to redefine what we the people means so that we can control these things, so we can make this place a better place for all of us.
Look, before I go to the next question, I do want to give a shout out to Nate Parker. And we had talked about the movie American Skin. I think all of us have watched it. I want, like, if you haven't watched it, I do want y'all to go watch American Skin. That's a very good movie. It gives an insight of how us as Black America feels, and you show the other side how they probably feel. But it's a good movie. It's called American Skin. Support that movie.
And I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna piggyback on what Chris said. It's on Amazon Prime. That's one of the places where it's being featured. It's also on other rental sites. Pay for the film. Pay for the film, whether you're gonna rent it or whether you're gonna buy it. I purchased the film. Now let me tell you something. Let me give you a little tidbit. It's a tidbit. It's a little extra thing you can put in your pocket. What I do, because over time you may switch a different cable company. I feel as if Amazon's not going anywhere. I buy any movie I buy that's digital, I buy it from Amazon. I'm just putting that out there, because if you switch cable companies, guess what goes with it when you switch? All of those movies you bought are going with it. But if you pick a platform that's going to be around, don't matter who you switch to, you got it. But participate and support our Black films. We can't get them made. We can't keep them made if we don't have our own money flowing through it. I understand everybody got these other ways of watching films, but we have to support financially our organizations, or they cannot make it. So I'm done with that. That's still a part of love. You got to show your love financially sometime too.
All right, let's get to the next question. Would you take the shirt off your back, shoes off your feet, and the food out your house to help your brother or sister in need?
I've done it. I absolutely will. I've done it. I'll tell you a short story, not to get too long-winded. I'm a bowler. Most people that know me know that. I came out of the bowling alley one night. This gentleman walked up to me, and he walked away and came back and started to talk. And he said, I'm sorry. So I said, no, what's wrong, brother? Just go ahead and tell me. He said, man, I really, am struggling with this, but, I left the house to go to the grocery store to get some stuff for my family, but I don't have any money to get it. My wife doesn't know that I lost my job. She lost her job a couple of weeks ago, and I couldn't tell her that I lost mine. I said, say no more. I said, what do you need? He said, all I need is some milk and eggs. I went to the grocery store. I bought milk, eggs, cereal, cheese, meat, and I came back and gave it to him. And also, on another note, a good friend of mine used to ride around with blankets, clothes, sneakers in his trunk. And I was with him one day, and we went to grab something, and I put something in his trunk, and I asked him, I said, what is this? He said, hey man, this stuff I don't wear. So I ride around with this stuff. So when I see somebody that's walking barefoot, or somebody that doesn't have a coat, or somebody that's on the street, I keep this stuff in my car so I can hand it out. that was used to me. It made a big impact on me. So one day I saw this cat walking down the street barefoot, brand new pair of sneakers on, man. And son Emmy just said, you know what? He needs some more than I do. Pulled over, took the shoes off my feet, wasn't sure what size he wore, and gave it to him. So I've actually done that. And you know what? I don't do it to tell people about it. This is the first conversation I've had about it. I did it because that's what I felt in my heart I needed to do at that moment.
Mm. Well, I'll share mine. One day, one of my stories is I was going to a fast food restaurant, and I was in the drive-thru. And a gentleman knocked on my window, bam, 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 you know, come on, can he get some change? He hungry, blah, 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 blah. But I'm so used to hearing so many fake dudes up here begging for stuff, you know what I'm saying? Even when you say you're buying some food, I want the food, I want the money. You know, he knocked on my window. I told him to get away from the car, order the food. But out of curiosity, when I ordered my food and I was in the line, I seen him walk over there to the dumpster. And I got the food. I went back around and rolled up to the dumpster. This man was in the dumpster crying, grabbing scraps, trying to eat. And it tore my heart up so bad that I beat the horn. I gave him my food and I gave him some money. And it was mind blowing because I never, now out of all the people always bagging on the corners and all that old stuff, I never experienced a person who was really hungry like that, who's in the trash can going through scraps. And it really lit my heart up because there's so many hustlers out here. You can't distinguish who's real, who's fake, who's trying to get alcohol, who's trying to get drugs, who's trying to do what, because they run in that game all the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of hard to see who's genuine and who's, you know, not. And I'm not telling anybody not to give to nobody. But, you know, like I say, I experienced so many fake dudes and they always lying and as soon as you say, I'll buy you something, I don't want the money. I don't want the food, I want the money. And that stuff like that, you know, it just mess with you. So it's kind of hard. And today's society, when I wrote that question, I don't see like there you say you will get your shirt off your back and you have did that. A lot of people won't, man. Just like we talking about somebody worrying about a scuffed shoe, they'll kill a man over some scuffed shoes than to get shoes that a man walking around here barefooted on their feet. They got more emotion and love for them shoes getting scuffed than their woman. They got more love for them shoes than another black man's life. And that's a myth. I hate to keep hollering this, but this is mental illness. It's a sickness.
It is.
And my eyesight, maybe just to me, maybe I want people to see what my mind think. But for you to destroy a human, something is mentally wrong with you. And this going out to every young black man out there ready to bang, man. You worse than the Klan. Matter of fact, you are working for the Klan. You are initiated in the Klansman's game. You are putting in more work than they do. You hating more than they do. You rather see us dead more than they do. This is sick. You are destroying, you are genocide to the highest form that you could ever come up with, man. All the history of genocide, you are the living, breathing seed of genocide. How many people we exterminating? Every time I turn on the news. But, you know, this is hate. And I just wanted to share that view, man, and get that off my chest. And let Raymond go.
No, Big seems like he had something he was gonna say.
I'm just saying that the absence of fathers, and I'm not. When I say that, it's not that I'm always blaming when I say that, because I know that there's some situations where fathers are not being allowed to see their children, but they got to get with these boys. These boys need male role models, and what happens is the anger that these people with this mental illness, like Chris is saying, that is something that is ingrained in them deep from being young and being separated from things. And we need that love demonstrated. When mothers, you have got to look, these are not your babies. They're your children, but they're not your babies. They need to be groomed, and they got to be in front of other men that are positive impacts on their life. Otherwise, this is what we get. Let me explain to you. You want to know what you get when you don't put your child in the right environments? This is it right now. Staggering. People get mad when they say black on black crime, but it's real. The numbers are out of control. I mean, just far beyond and above any other group. Yes, white people kill black people. Yes, white people kill white people. Asian people kill Asian people. Filipinos kill Filipino people. Latinos kill Latino people in the masses. But when you put those numbers against the black community, you could probably combine them all and they still don't stack up. So you say, what's the outcome? The outcome of you saying not letting your kids see their father is what we get now. And we got to fix this thing. This is a major problem. We have so many things to fix, but this needs to be at the top of the list because we need those men. We need men in our society. And if they out there killing each other in the street before they can even become men, how do we get anywhere?
All right. I want to go back to what you asked about, giving. I'm gonna role reverse with mine because I think this is something that I really felt good about. I had when I was in Atlanta, when I was living down in Atlanta, and I was staying in my place, I lost my job, and I still I had some time left on my lease, and I was kind of out back because if I broke my lease, I know that I was gonna owe. So my boy that I was in the Corps with, he looked out for me. He helped me pay a good portion of my rent for a few months until I was able to get out of my lease. So if you want to talk about somebody giving, I will hold him up as a shining example of somebody that gave, because he didn't have to do that. I could have just been went on about my way. I've been out back, but he wanted to make sure that I was good. So I hold him up very highly. He's like a brother to me, man. So I've always, if he needed anything, let me know. I got you, man. So it's just that kind of giving that you're not gonna see from everybody, but there are people that will do something for you that that's not out to get something in return. They truly from their heart trying to do something because they see you in a situation and they want to be there to help you. So yeah. That's I just wanted to give that example.
That's a great example, man. Good example. I mean, like I said, we talk. It's funny because we up here today in front of on the cameras talking on Zoom, but we have these conversations all the time. I mean, like I say, I look for when I read scriptures that they say give us straight off your back or help a man that's hungry. You know what I'm saying? Because I really don't see people willing to give people nothing, man. Even family members tight like that. I mean, family members who have been prosperous with their careers, their money, and you go to them, I can't help you. They're lying, and it's somebody always to have the least that will give to you than the person that has the most, and that's crazy. You know what I'm saying? It's terrible when an outsider you don't know is more compassionate for your situation than your own loved one sometimes. And that to me is like ridiculous, man, because the hearts, it starts at our hearts, man. That's why I say a lot of people born to hate got a lot of wickedness in their hearts. They might smile and read scriptures and say they sanctified and holy and all that, but their actions speak louder than words, man. I look at what you do than what you say. Because all my life, I always heard this, a lot of talk, and I never seen a lot of action unless it was negative. I mean, I heard dudes, I'm gonna be, people, and I got your back, beating all this crazy stuff. But when it comes down to you, your situation ain't there. But when it's coming to doing something negative, stealing, killing, and hurting, they 100 with the words then. But the thing is, we talking about love, man. And the sad thing, as we having this, podcast right now, doing this, I feel like the essence of love is dying every moment, man. Somebody every second, a woman just got hurt, a dude just got hurt in relationship or whatever, they turning cold-hearted every second, man. People detaching from the kids. They don't want to even show emotion no more. People just getting colder every second because of the experience of them living in this cold-blooded world, man, with people who's heartless. It's shifting them, man. It's making some people cold. I mean, sometimes we got to examine life and examine ourselves. We got to check ourselves. We got to, just look at certain things, get something that helps us, man. Realize maybe we do have an issue. Sometimes I got to question myself. I got to check myself. I got issues too. I snap. And even up here, like I said, I have road rage. I done had everything we talking about, I've been part of. I ain't going to just, I'm going to talk about my faults as well. I done had some issues. And here, like I said, I let my issues off. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes it was hard for me at one time to love. I used to tell people, man, love, man, or smiling, man, that show too much emotion. You know what I'm saying? Because from experience of being hurt, you know what I'm saying? People doing you wrong, people treating you a certain way. I mean, these are things that make you this person. But as you get older, man, you're supposed to put away foolish stuff and get wiser. It's like we getting older, and a lot of people not getting wiser as they getting older, man. We supposed to grow up from our errors, man. We supposed to change. I mean, you might be hardcore when you're young, but man, you ain't got to be hardcore 50 and 60 years old, man. Come on, 40 in your 40s, it should be a shift, a change, man. You should at least want to start hanging on the corners and want to get some land or a house or have a business, man. You should at least want to do something with your life to be productive.
Everybody talk about giving. I feel funny. I mean, but I got to talk about this. We gotta, it's a lot of things that we want in the Black community, but we don't always want to financially provide the resource. And one thing I did, all of last year, I concentrated on it. And there's money I put aside every time that I get paid. And throughout the year, I have blessed several organizations and several people. You know what I'm saying? I mean, because I set aside, I saw things that were happening with the Until Freedom movement. I have supported them. I support public radio. I support random, because certain time on birthday, when people have birthdays, I financially just bless them, Cash App them, bam. You know what I'm saying? But it's like with no expectation of no return. And if we can have a heart of that, we got, people out that's speaking for our community like Roland Martin. You know what I'm saying? Folks, we got to financially support the organizations that have our best interests at heart. Otherwise, they can't stay around. Where we are, I mean, this world is based on money. And we have to put our money where our mouth is. It's great to talk, and it's great to say we should have this and we should have that. But what about what we have that's not being supported? Let's think about that. If we support what we have, those organizations can help us get what we want, more of what we want. So you got to think about that. You got people like I said, Until Freedom, Tamika Mallory, and my son. Now, granted, they may have some large donors, but what that got to do with your $20 or your $5 or your 50 cents? See, it ain't about the amount. When you give from your heart, it'll multiply. It can be multiplied, but you have to financially support these organizations that have your best interest in mind. Otherwise, we can't grow and go to the next level. So I got to say that. I'm going to leave it there.
Derek, any comment?
Nah, I mean, I've said my piece. I agree totally, wholeheartedly with Big. We have to support our own, especially when they're doing something to promote progress in the Black community.
All right. We talked about the love we hate in our community, about all the things that go on, as far as how we deal with one another and how we use pettiness and drama to, continue the narrative of division when we want to have inclusion with each other in our community. And that's what it's about, trying to be together to make something bigger than what we are individually. And that's how this world operates in a individualist type of mindset, and we would like to eliminate that because we want to be better as a whole. And because that's what it's about. When you work as a whole, that's where love is expressed beyond the normal realms of what we might say love is, because love is community, love is partnership, love is charity, love is is agape, brotherly love to one another. So let's not lose love to the society that we live in today, because society today wants you to forget about your fellow man, your brother, your strong Black brothers. All right, that's it for me. I'm gonna hand it over to Derek so he can do what he do.
All right, real quick, this show was real close and dear to my heart. I'm glad my brother was able to orchestrate these questions. I think it was a lot of good information that was given today. Please support, like, subscribe. And with all that being said,
And
I
share.
want you to remember one thing. If you stay ready, you don't have to get ready. Get established.
This has been another episode of the Get Established Show. Thank you guys for tuning in. We ask you to like, subscribe, and share. This topic today we closed out is the love we hate. Is the essence of love dying and hate growing rapid in the world and in the Black community? And you got our perspectives. I hope you guys continue the conversation and help us to become a better community where we can move forward and do some greater things for the world. Because if we come together and do great things, we can do greater things for the world. Thanks again for tuning in. And we'll see you next week on our YouTube channel right here, Get Established Show.
I will say this to your last question. A lot of people don't understand the word love. And what I mean by that is, if you think about it, like for me, love outside of my family was difficult growing up because of the things that took place in my life. So I didn't really understand how to love. It wasn't until I got older and I realized I had friends like Raymond and Big, when me and my brother built a better relationship. Because the way growing up, you got to realize y'all may not know, and I think I've shared this with Big. Growing up, me and Chris were separate for a minute. I was with my aunt and uncle, and I knew I had a brother. I knew that this woman said she was my mom. I knew that this man said he was my dad, but I really, as a young kid, you don't get that because you're being raised by these two individuals and you think that they're your mom and dad. So at the age of 9, everything came full circle for me and I was really confused. So love wasn't a word that I was familiar with because I felt like then nobody loved me. So I had to reconnect with that. So, and I don't know who else went through that in their life, but I had to learn what love meant and how to express that.